I told myself after this Sunday's church service that I would make my first YouTube video. I've been thinking about doing this for a very long time. Let's just say roughly a year. Alright, hold on. Have some grace, alright? But this is how Christ saved me and has helped me throughout my life over the past 2 years since I gave my life to Him. One of the biggest struggles that I had was the struggle of instant gratification. If you don't know what that is, that's pretty much any short-term pleasure, whether it be through drinking or smoking, which was a big one of mine. I'm going to be making a separate video on that, actually, about how God convicted me of smoking. But anxiety, depression, I went through heartbreak, which was actually the reason why I came to Christ. Sloth, being lazy. Tomorrow isn't promised. If you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have something that you want to do, just go do it. Like, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. There was this guy, I think his name was like Higher Up Wellness. Great channel, super cool guy. But he was like, you're gonna die. It's gonna be over one day. Like, if you have something that you want to do and pursue, just go do it. And that's why I'm here. And last but not least, certainly not least, is pride. My own pride, which is the root of all sin and majority of time suffering. So, yeah, I've been following Christ for the past 2 years. There's been plenty of ups and downs, but I do not regret a single thing. It is by far the best decision that I've ever made in my life. And I'm just here to talk about that. This is super just out of my comfort zone. I never thought I'd be picking up a camera to like sit down and make a YouTube video and start posting content. I'm going to be posting on Instagram, TikTok, just to get my content out there and just do what God has called me to do. Alright, so I'm going to talk about what led me to start posting, because maybe you are looking for your purpose, maybe you're following God, maybe you're just lost in life and you don't know what you're doing or where you're going. But I remember being around 8 to 10 years old, and I didn't really have much experience with God. Like, I didn't go to church, none of that. I remember my mom actually planted a seed, Mom. She was like, you're more than just your body. Like, you have a soul. And I was inclined to think just from that sentence alone that there is a God, there's a creator. I didn't know much. But I remember loving YouTube videos. Big gamer over here, okay? I don't really game much anymore. But I love gaming. I loved watching YouTube videos. And I remember just praying to God one night, out of random. I said that I'd love to do YouTube videos. But for some reason, I said that I'd like to do it for good. Even at such a young age, I was like, if I'm going to put myself out there and almost in a way influence, other people, I'm going to want to do something good. Like, I'm not going to want to put something out there that people are going to see and then do, and then it's not going to help them. Like, come on now. There's a whole lot of that going on, and I'm just trying to be a breath of fresh air. Not only in, obviously, the Christian community is doing a great job at continuing to tell, your testimony and encourage other people to follow God, but also the gym community, all right? I just started going to the gym 2 years ago, and that's going to be, like, part of the content as well. I am in front of the gym parking lot right now. Also, behind me is a church. Not coincidence at all. I don't care what you say, not coincidence. But I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my testimony real quick, and then I'm going to get into some of the more content-based, like what I'm going to be doing with this channel. So I made the prayer. I was talking to God, and I wanted to just do something good. And I only remembered this prayer. This was like 11 years ago. I only remembered this prayer after I gave my life to Christ. And I was actually sitting in this gym parking lot, and I said to myself, I don't think it's a coincidence that I found the gym and Jesus at the same time. And I thought to myself, kind of a catchy name. So I'm running with it. I think it sounds super cool. I'm just gonna do it. Two of the things that I love most, obviously, God comes first. But I remembered that prayer after giving my life to Christ and just coming up with the name while talking to God in my car. And if you're like me, you're probably an overthinker, all right? You're probably overthinking everything. You don't know what you should do, what you shouldn't do at certain times. So I prayed to God. I'm like, God, like, I think you just gave me, like, a really good idea. Like, I kind of was just sitting here talking to you, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. That sounds really catchy. So, yeah, I'm like, I need to see if this is what you want me to do. It's super out of my comfort zone. I mean, you should have seen my face when I was like, God, you want me to, like, film videos? What? I got nervous in school when the teacher would take attendance to say here. I mean, I'm not the guy for the job. Apparently, he believes in me more than I believe in myself. So I'm just gonna do it. That's what we're doing today. So I went to work one day, and I'm a welder. I went into the supervisor's office to go ask my supervisor a question about something I was working on. And a couple of my coworkers were just goofing around, all right? And I didn't expect anything, but my one coworker, Mitch, shout out Mitch, he looked at me, he was like, yo, you're a Christian, right? I've never said anything. He goes, you're a Christian, right? I go, yeah. And he goes, you go to the gym, right? And I'm like, yeah, I go to the gym, you bet. And he was like, you should make like a YouTube channel and call it like Godly Gains or something. And I'm like, what? I was absolutely dumbfounded. Like, I don't even know. I was blown. I just looked at him. I'm like, dude, I think you just answered a prayer of mine. Like, God will use people all the time to speak to you, to talk to you. And I just wanted him to tell me anything. I'm like so lost. I'm at a job that, I just don't love it. Yeah, no, definitely don't love it. On a schedule that I can't really stand. But yeah, I mean, I think God told me in that moment, like, hey, there's your green light. Like, go do it. And if I've learned anything, it's obedience is better than sacrifice. I've spent way too long constantly, like, coming to God and then drifting away from God and then coming to God. And I think one of the big reasons he wants me to step into my purpose and do this is just because it'll give me a firm foundation and really hold me accountable. This is something I want to do. This is something I love doing. I love talking about God. I do it with my friends all the time, or as much as I can. And one of the best ways that you can represent the faith is just by living that faith out. People, are going to see you change. I've had a couple friends tell me, like, you are way different than you were a couple years ago, and that's because of what Christ has done for me. All right. When it comes to the gym, I just started going recently. I wasn't really familiar with, like, maybe what the gym content culture was like a couple years ago, but it seems like now it's not even that much about the gym. And, like, if it is about the gym, it's about me trying to be better than you. And that's a no-no, okay? People shouldn't be putting others down just because they feel entitled because of their physique or whatever the case is. All right, so I'm just trying to be different. I'm just trying to do what God has called me to do. I will be setting up, again, I don't know if I mentioned it, but other socials, so TikTok, Instagram, I will be posting clips on there. I will be making posts. This, like, making videos, talking about God, is way, way more important than my gym content. I'm doing gym on the side because I love it, because God gave me an idea. And I actually started going to the gym, not because I was trying to, like, impress some ladies or, like, any of that crap. I really was just trying to give myself a healthy vice for my anxiety and my depression. And if you are struggling with mental health, it is amazing. I leave the gym every time, no matter what it is, and I feel better. The problem may not be fixed, all right, but at least I'm giving myself this kind of, like, release. I can go into the gym, I can lift some weights, I can do something that's going to benefit me and help myself out. So that, plus having a relationship with God, has been life-changing. Again, don't know if I said this, but I used to party a lot. I smoked a lot of marijuana, and it is just no good for you. I did it for you, so you don't have to go do it. So if you're still doing those things, and you're expecting some miraculous change in your life, and you got all these big dreams. I mean, I asked myself, like, Lance, like, where do you want to be in 10 years? And then I asked myself a very similar question, actually very different. I said, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And both of those questions generated me two completely different answers, which was a huge problem. You cannot sit around and want certain things, but then not do the things to get them. All that partying is going to get you nowhere. It's going to leave you feeling more empty and sad than you could ever imagine. All right. So that is it, short but sweet for the first video. Again, you can catch me. I'm gonna try. I haven't even made my socials yet, but I gotta do that. It's gonna be Gym&Jesus across the board. So I'm gonna try and put links wherever. You'll find them eventually if you keep looking around. But thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I hope maybe you gained something from this. I hope that you follow along for the journey. It's gonna be fun. I literally just learned how to use the camera and the tripod I got today, so bear with me, but I'm sure it will be a fun time. Thank you for watching. God bless.